Hello, thank you for joining us today. My name is Helen Kabakukia, a reporter with Solutions Now Africa. We recently did a story on cryptocurrency in Uganda. Is it the devil or a misunderstood angel? Cryptocurrency, or what many call Bitcoin, is said to have started in 2009 and it was worth nothing. The currency has since evolved and grown and is now valued at $16,560, approximately $17,000 right now. Just like any other currency, its value appreciates and depreciates and has gone on to hit an all-time high by November 2021 at a value of $69,000. Many businesses like McDonald's, Tesla have gone on to accept cryptocurrency as a currency that they can use to exchange any of their products. However, many countries like Uganda have refused to give it a legal tender to let it operate. Now, today we want to discuss, is it really the devil or a misunderstood angel? For many are using it as scamming platforms to deprive Ugandans of their hard-earned money. With me, I have experts. Daniel Mulondo, who is the CEO of Nile One, a company which deals in training people the art of trading digital assets such as cryptocurrency, forex, NFTs, call them non-fungible tokens, as well as a wide range of entrepreneurial businesses and investments. We also have Mr. Darius Mugabe, a lecturer at Makerere University Business School. He's also an economist and a policy researcher. Mr. Daniel, please, you could help us expound on this beautiful CV that you have.
Thank you so much, my dear sister, for this warm welcome here. Hello, everyone who is watching us. I'm Daniel Mulondo. Nile One is our company, and I'm the CEO. Right now, we are into blockchain and finance. That's our major reason that brought us into the space, to understand how money is created and also how finance world works, or the financial markets. And now we are looking at cryptocurrency. Is it a devil or a misunderstood concept? Thank you so much for hosting us. And well, from our perspective, I think it's a misunderstood concept to these developing worlds. Let me call it that way.
We shall get back to that. Let us go to Mr. Darius.
Thank you for introducing me, and to all those who are watching us. My name is Darius Mugabe.
Yeah.
Maybe for the interest of our viewers, I should add that I'm of Uganda, to rule out any risk of being associated with Zimbabwe. I teach at Makerere University Business School, economics, and also do policy research with the Economic Hub Uganda, which is a think tank of young economists whose aim is majorly to nurture new generational thinking within that area. I'm very glad and honored to be part of this conversation.
Thank you so much. Mr. Daniel, I'm going to begin with you. You come to this panel with a vast range of experience when it comes to cryptocurrency. To an ordinary Ugandan, explain to them what cryptocurrency really means.
Well, thank you so much. Cryptocurrency, it has two terms. Something which is encrypted, but also with a currency. So this is money, but encrypted. Or let's call it digital money. Or to simplify it, this is mobile money. Money that is moving on mobile or digitally. But it runs on a technology that is called blockchain. Blockchain is a ledger. Take it as a spreadsheet that is running on different computers. But those computers run on what we call a consensus algorithm.
We are going to break down that English because even I, the one hosting you right now, I am very confused.
Okay, Bitcoin is money. However, to some economics, I mean, the so-called
the words of our Honorable Minister for Finance would
Yes.
simply say it is money which moves in the air.
In the air.
Now that is very understandable. Now we are in a country that allows forex trade,
Yes.
but refuses to give a legal tender to Bitcoin.
Yes.
Of what importance is Bitcoin, or is someone who's beginning out in this trade?
Mm.
How best can you describe it to them, and how important it is in the current economic situation that we're in?
Well, to the current economic situations that are moving now globally, because you need to understand the future of finance, the future of money, how it has, where it started from and where it is going.
Yes.
As all of us know that we started with barter trade, whereby I meet my Don here from MOPS
That's 500 years ago.
500 years ago.
Yes.
I give you cow shells, you give me gold. We trade that way. But now, as times goes on, things evolved, and that's how from paper money, from barter trade, we entered into cow shells. From cow shells, that's where coins were introduced, digital coins, because they stored value. And those coins here in Africa, I think they were introduced by Arabs, right? So from that journey, paper money was introduced as a custodian of the value. For example, you want sugar, the central bank will print out a currency that can help us transact, all of us. Now with paper money, that's where we transited into plastic money that moves on cards, Visa card, MasterCard, credit cards, debit cards, and so many other cards, shopping cards, fuel cards, and so many other cards that have been everywhere. And now from there, because the world keeps on evolving, what I learned, change is a fact of life. And every time there is a change, innovators are there first. And now regulation comes last. And from there, mobile money was introduced. In fact, globally, mobile money concept started from East Africa here. And later on, it was exported to the rest of the world. And now from mobile money, 2009 of recent, when we had a recession globally, a group of people, the so-called Satoshi, we don't know whether it was a person, one person, or a group of people, but what we know that Satoshi invented a white paper. That white paper, it was running on internet as that something that can store value. That technology was running on a blockchain, and that thing was called Bitcoin. So that's how Bitcoin came through. From Bitcoin, a lot of innovators jumped on wagon by creating what we call altcoins, or other alternative coins. And one of them was Ethereum and many other coins. Up to now, we have about 20,000 tokens. But each coin, once it is launched, they created to solve a unique challenge with a use case. So that's another conversation that we can go through.
Indeed, that is going
But
to
I
be
wanted to give you the general picture of where we started from and where we are. Thank you.
There's something that you have spoken about. The economic environment that we live in forces us to adjust to the different currencies. And I'm going to the economist. What does this mean for a government like Uganda that refuses to accept cryptocurrency as a currency?
I first wanted to pick from this background that Daniel has really elaborated to us, and probably fixing my own understanding of what cryptocurrency is. In my view, I just want to compliment on his understanding that is a sort of a digital asset which enables us to do some sort of transaction, complete a transaction, but by avoiding some intermediation of the central authority. And I think that's where most of the challenge is, taking into consideration of the future of cryptocurrency, that it helps us to complete transactions without intermediation of these government authorities like a central bank. And that is pushing us into some bit of mandate wars, that if at all we did give cryptocurrency a legal tender, what would be the future authority or mandate of these central banks? What will they be doing? They will lose some mandate in as far as controlling financial transactions and intermediation is concerned. But as a person who has been in that space of economics, I carry a lot of objectivity, and I'm a bit optimistic that perhaps this digital currency could be the future of this world, given the story has shared that 500 years ago we are still doing transactions by exchanging goods and services. But of course, at each stage of development, currency development, it has been premised on certain challenges which those things are not solving. For example, when we are doing barter trade system, there are certain challenges that came up with those transactions, that probably you're having a double coincidence of once and you cannot have the exchange completed. Some items were very difficult to divide into smaller spaces, that if I had my cow and I want to buy one rabbit, how would I divide the cow into smaller rabbits and have the exchange? And that made mankind to think beyond using the barter system into some sort of what was called commodity money. And what we need to know is that currency, in its essence, is something which does not have an intrinsic value within itself, but some sort of object to which we can attach value. And that's how commodity money came into place, that now we could look at certain things, say animals, and we generally agree to use them as a medium of exchange. But of course, at this stage, we have also still certain challenges that we are associated with countries or societies were endowed differently with respect to these things they were using for exchange, and the transactions were being limited on that account. And that's when commodity money came into place, by using the silver coins and cowrie shells. But again, there were challenges we have developed. But also, these metallic monies, the world came up with these coins. We started viewing them as fiat money. Something we call fiat money is that the intrinsic the value of that thing, what you put in to produce it, is actually more than the value of the coin itself. So it becomes fiat money. So went to paper money. Now we are at a stage of demand deposits. We haven't reached digital money, but demand deposits, what is calling paper money, that you have money perhaps in your bank account, and upon request you can draw some checks, or you can use ATM machines to do transactions. But it is also not solving certain things, that you still have that human contact with money. And with this emergence of epidemics and pandemics that are ongoing, people are viewing them as carriers of to spread these epidemics. So the future could be in digital money, where you don't see any physical money at all.
In short, we are solving robbery, because again, it's digital money, you cannot touch it. Well, at least that's the way I see it. You've talked about the challenges that have come with every currency that has been there. And even if cryptocurrency also poses its own challenges to the central government, to even us, and even to that person down there in the village who has not understood how blockchain and everything works, why is it then, and this one I'm posing this to Daniel, that
Yes.
how what is causing the scammings that we are having around cryptocurrency, because previously when it comes to paper money and barter money, you would know the value of what you're getting, you would know
Yes.
how that works, and the best you can be scammed in is being given a very fake paper. But now we are having people losing millions and millions. What is causing that whole high level?
Well, in every revolution or evolution, the challenges around it, even in the adoption stage, because when Satoshi created this technology, back then it was so expensive to own a Bitcoin, because by then they were stored on floppy drives and the information was totally scarce, to a level that there is a gentleman who exchanged his Bitcoins, 10,000 worth of Bitcoins, into a pizza. Every time they celebrate that day, I mean the most expensive pizza globally, because someone exchanged valuables, because he was not aware, or he had not looked into the future of where it is. Well, apparently, of recent I saw the report. We clocked 8 billion people, and for the past 10 years, when this technology is in existence, we have registered over close to 40 million users globally. It's still new, it's still at its infancy stage, and it's taking shape every single day. So every day there are challenges, but challenges always makes us stronger to innovate the best way. Now, how people are getting scammed every day, more so in the on the Africa's continent. Let me even bring it down home here. How people are getting scammed. You see, what I've learned in other countries, what they do when they register such invasions, because you really wouldn't want to lose a chance. What if it works? What if it doesn't work? So the government has to also take part into it, to register it or to accommodate it, so that they protect the citizens of that jurisdiction. So what happened in Uganda here when the technology came, at first it started from the street, didn't come from the flow of information from these economists. No, it manifested from the street. Exactly. So people started investing in coins that they didn't even actually understand, because they could enter based on what their friends have told them. There's a system that is they call it multi-level marketing, network marketing. Let me be direct. So a lot of Ponzi schemes came and understood the technology, how it works of the blockchain. Now they invented a network marketing model on most of the tokens, and then those tokens were distributed based on the referral. I join here, I bring Darius on board, he invests maybe 10,000 worth dollars or 30 millions, then I take 10%, and he has to involve others also. So by word of mouth, referral. And now there comes some people with bad intentions. They receive money at the expense of other people, and they use money they raise it to do other projects that are not even related in cryptocurrencies.
Are we saying that network marketing actually does exist in cryptocurrency? It's only that people are using it as Ponzi schemes? Or are we saying that Bitcoin itself cannot be network marketed?
Okay, Bitcoin itself is a technology, but network marketing is a model that was invented by people who wanted to spread it across. So they came up with a lot of referral systems. I cautious people that every time when you see a project with a network marketing model, most especially in cryptocurrency, be conscious. Don't run very fast, because once this system is onboarded, that approach of networking, invite others. The so-called people who are referring people, they earn commissions, and maybe out of the 10 millions you've invested in, someone is going with 10% or 6% of that. Now, what do you think actually? How is it going to, the remaining part of it, how is it going to turn into maybe with a return on investment, while part of it is already spent?
Well, they tell
However,
us that it will make for you money while you sleep.
exactly. So, however, what these wrong elements does in the blockchain space, they craft programs that really looks lucrative. And what I've discovered here in Africa, or Uganda in particular, people always want a get-rich-quick scheme. We have, even ourselves, we don't read. Africans don't want to spend a lot of time on reading. We want convenience. We want someone to tell you a story about something and then you buy it. You don't want to do your own research. So a lot of people are victims. I know a lot of people, when you talk about Bitcoin, they want to chop off your head. They want to, because they have lost all their valuables, and have registered a lot of cases. That's why we came up with an education program, give out free information to people, but also on top of that, to do research, because money doesn't be, money does, you cannot make money in a twinkling of an eye. It takes some processes. Even in this technology, however much it appreciates in value due to the demand and supply factor, but we don't recommend that this is a get rich quick scheme whereby you invest today and then tomorrow you're a millionaire. No.
Mr. Darius, back to you. As a policymaker, one of the people that are onto policy research and economics, should we say that as economists, you have failed to advise the government on a way to deal away with these different companies? That, because one of our people in our story lost over 15 million. He got their entire family to invest in this network marketing blockchain. I think it was one of those coins that are very new in the market. I shall not mention names, for I do not have verified information. But should we say that it's because the economists and the different researchers have failed to get the central bank to actually, if they made it a legal tender, maybe we could reduce some of these scams?
No. Let me first clear your kind of impression.
Yes.
Most times people think that economic policy works the similar way this light bulb works. That the moment you press a button, a switch, light will go on, and when you press it again, it will go off. But economic policy doesn't work in that way. Sometimes you can make a policy and the impact is realized 5 years later, or sometimes it doesn't come. So on the aspect of economics, whether we have failed or not, I think this advice has been given over and over. But based on what I've said, sometimes the impact is not realized. I think government of Uganda has already made a stand regarding cryptocurrency. And you know, currency works when it is a legal tender.
Yes.
That's the underlying fact. Or when there is general acceptance that this should be used as a medium of exchange. So government of Uganda has not accepted it. What does that imply? That cryptocurrency is therefore not backed up by government securities, and given its nature that its value is very volatile, changes from time to time. People who trade in it are exposed to a lot of risks in terms of lower value that they get in case the prices reduce. But like they say, the higher the risk, the higher the return. Many times when prices go up for these cryptocurrencies, there are people who reap a lot of benefits. They benefit a lot. But the question becomes, for how long then will that reaping continue? Which is the question of contestation that we
Now,
can.
on that very point, I will ask, where do we go wrong for those that actually trade in the right platforms? Where do the people that trade go wrong? Because we know of people that have made money off Bitcoin, but we also know of people that have made losses. Now, for those that have made the losses, where are they going wrong? Because someone comes to me and tells me, you just give me 300,000, put it in this, trade it against this, just like the same way you do Forex. And in 30 minutes, in an hour, in a day, in a month, you're going to be very rich. That works for person A, but that doesn't work for person B. Where is that person that has made losses gone wrong?
Of course, given its nature, what I've said that is very volatile. And I also think from the understanding of government is that we still have underdeveloped financial markets that can really utilize and harness the opportunities that cryptocurrency presents. I think that's where the fears are. And by extension, those characteristics of cryptocurrency make it easy to engage in activities that you might term criminal, like money laundering, but also with the aspect of developing Ponzi pyramid schemes. A Ponzi scheme is just a sort of a fraud investment where the investor is paid a return from the investments of a new investor. Yes.
Interesting.
And
Yeah,
now,
that's true.
when it becomes a pyramid, that's when you put in the aspect of network marketing to sustain it. That you need to keep on recruiting new investors. The new investors also recruit others in order for it to be sustainable. And I think Uganda has been a laboratory of these Ponzi schemes over the years, right away from the mid 2000s when we had the OE, and from nowhere it phased out, declaring itself bankrupt and went with people's money. We have had the stories of D9, and by the way, these Ponzi schemes generate a lot of money, about 7.5 trillion. That 7.5 trillion Ugandan shilling that was locked on the accounts of that D9, with a network of over 213 people. We are having stories of BRQ with over 500 and a net worth of 50 million US dollars. All those schemes that come up and die and people are losing a lot of money. I think cryptocurrency makes people vulnerable to such kinds of schemes, and I think he spoke to the issue of training and why we really participate in these Ponzi schemes. I was reading some survey that despite these stories of how people are losing money, we still have a high uptake of the schemes. But the research is revealing that people mainly engage in these activities, Ponzi schemes or trading cryptocurrency, not for the reasons I hold that perhaps in the future it's going to be the money we are using. But 63% report that they participate in such activities just to make money. And like we said, it makes it a bit lucrative that you can join in and make money within the shortest time
You're
possible.
rich tomorrow.
You're rich tomorrow. That's why most of people are joining cryptocurrency.
But is it possible for me to put in money today, $100, and by nightfall, and this is a yes or no question, is it possible for me to put in $100 right now, and by end of day, if I have made my trades carefully, I am rich by an extra $50?
That is very true. But you
Exactly.
know, there are
Mr.
usually trade-offs. By the time you have just taken money of others.
No, I'm not talking about just the Ponzi schemes. I'm just saying now for an actual trader, I've got my money and put it on the different platforms that are available. For instance, Binance,
Yes.
Bittrex, Coinbase, FTX, those platforms. Am I able, and this is for people that would want to probably say it's an angel, because we have understood the devil part, the scamming part, the people making losses. Now we need to understand that, is it possible, if I did it the right way, for me to invest in $100 tonight? I put it in my Binance account, and if all goes well, the volatility sways to my side, and I get $50 extra by end of day. Mr. Daniel,
Okay.
please look at him, because it seems like he is the one that needs to be convinced.
No, Mr. Darius, it's actually possible to make a percentage on your trades. It's very possible. We've seen that. We've not seen it, but we have experienced that over and over the time.
And
And,
Mr. Darius, do you believe that if I traded it in the right path without using the Ponzi schemes, but actually used the platforms that have been provided by secured, encrypted, back end, really verified? Because you find that some of these platforms, you even have a two-factor authentication. You go through the entire security processes that even deem that you are not a robot. Is it possible? Do you
It is
believe
possible,
it's possible?
like I said. I share the same optimism.
You share the same. No, we're not talking about the future, but the optimism of now. Yes. Mr. Daniel, I'm going to ask you, where do we go wrong? Why am I able to make that $50 extra off my 100 today? And yet, if I met my friend Richard and told him, please join with $100, he's going to come back in that evening and say, you know what? I put
I made it.
100, now I'm there on $1. What causes that?
No, actually, to be honest with you, you can make your trades and they go right. That's very impossible. I mean, that's very possible, and you can make that money. But at the same time, it's easy for your trades to go wrong. It's very possible. It's either way side.
It's just like Forex trade.
It's just like, well, Forex, yes, but now this is more volatile. And on those volatilities, that's where the money is. The higher, as you say that, the higher the risks, the higher the returns. That's the economics.
The higher the chances of losing it all.
Exactly. So, but the way how we go there, we go there with what we call the matrix of fear and greed. How much is your fear, and how much is your greed?
Call it your risk appetite.
Your risk appetite.
Risk
The
appetite.
risk appetite.
Yes.
And by design, by the way, how it is structured, you realize that there is a market problem we call adverse selection. Adverse selection.
Okay.
It ends up attracting people that whose risk appetite is very high.
Too many coins on the market.
People that love risk are the
Yeah.
ones who, and the genuine investors, perhaps who are risk averse, whose the appetite for risk is very low, people are likely not to participate in such. So you end up with risk lovers, and people with the risk lovers, they also tend to get associated with another problem we call a moral hazard. That even when you get this money out of the cryptocurrency, you again want it to invest. You want to invest it in higher riskier projects,
Yeah.
such that you get the quickest returns possible.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, when odds are not in favor, you end up losing the entire money.
So we are agreeing, all of us here, that cryptocurrency is gambling in its own way, The only difference is that you're not gambling about Arsenal and Manchester United losing the game, but you are gambling about
I-
your money increasing.
I may not agree with you on that,
Yes,
because, to be honest, from my side
yes.
as an entrepreneur, cryptocurrency, when I'm trading cryptos, I am not gambling, because gambling, it's either way, you either lose or win,
Yes.
right? But in crypto here, you hold assets. When you hold assets, those assets may go actually higher
In value.
in value at a given period of time, or even take more time. More time. For example, last year in November, the Bitcoin was at 60, 68, 69 thousand US dollars. The value, each Bitcoin. That's almost about how much in Uganda shillings?
We shall not count the money right
That's
now.
a lot of money in Uganda shillings. 68,000 US dollars. But right now, actually, the market all-time low, it's at around 16. The other week it went to 15 something,
And it can
15,000,
drop
and
further
it
to-
can drop. Yes, we expect it to drop up to 10,000 US dollars.
And that's the minimum, or
Okay, we as analysts,
as
we expect it. We expect it. Now by 2024, there's gonna be what we call Bitcoin halving, and because the regulators have come on board in some countries, there is a precedent already, and the use case of these tokens is also growing, because now people create tokens for a given tasks. There is a token for farming. There's a blockchain ecosystem with the token that allows startups to run. That's Ethereum main network. There are even more other blockchain companies that are coming through. So when the use case grows, it allows the proper use of crypto, and that proper use of crypto will drive the Bitcoin and the crypto market to a threshold of about $30 trillion in the next 10 years.
Okay, now that you're speaking very huge numbers that are going to confuse my viewers, we have understood that it's angelic in its own way if you treat it right.
Yeah.
And we have also understood that it can be a devil when you allow yourself to be scammed, or you have the greedy, call it what? Is it called?
Metrics of fear and greed.
Yeah, the metrics of fear and greed.
The risk
and
appetite.
The risk appetite,
Yeah.
and the need to have money. Now let us now try to also understand, for those that between the risk appetites of greed and fear, where do they go wrong? Because we have a young man in our story that says that they told him to invest a certain amount of money, and when he did, unfortunately he lost it all. What do you think he could
No.
have done wrong? And it wasn't about just risk appetite. He just invested. They told him, put this amount of money in this Bitcoin and trade it, and you can and he's not alone. There are very many people that have put in money, and
True.
as I speak, they have $60 in their accounts. Some have even declared bankruptcy. Where could they have gone wrong?
I think the challenge starts from the narrative. That's the beginning point. Like I said, most of these people are joining with the narrative that I want to make quick money, and they probably 2 months or 4 months later, if they see money is not coming, the appetite has already disappeared, and they are saying things are not working. But if they participated with this narrative or view that probably this is the future of currency, then it would call them to make some more advanced research on how this thing works. And I think that's where we are not doing a very critical job,
So
like
the challenge is that people are
what
not
Daniel
willing
is
to learn.
doing, to understand, to study those trends in the prices, how they move from time to time, and be able to make some projections that would then inform them on when they should, increase on the investment, or when they should scale down, and they are able to make some good money. but we are just going with this narrative that I want to make money tomorrow even when I'm sleeping.
I want to drive a Bugatti
Eh,
tomorrow.
Yes, and I don't know why in Africa, by the way, we spoke about this item of adoption. Findings or research shows us that actually Africans were adopting faster than whites.
Yeah.
I don't know what
We have a
informs-
hunger to get away from
Um,
poverty.
We have that huge hunger of getting rich so quick. Because when I was looking at the percentages, in the USA, it's only 44% that is optimistic vis-a-vis the 63% that is coming from Africa. You know, that this is going to be a very good thing.
Mr. Daniel, you spoke about an ecosystem, because
Yes.
now we have understood that, because let us agree that most people who are joining cryptocurrency are young people,
Yes.
especially when it comes
Yeah, many from 18 to 29 years, and the greatest percentage, I think they are below the age of 50.
most of them.
Most of the people
So,
are
and they're the
joining.
ones that have the hunger to get away from
Yeah.
poverty and for lack of jobs and everything, and this provides an opportunity for them to make their money in the comfort of their houses without having to report to anyone.
Yeah.
We understand, but you speak of an ecosystem.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Well, actually, the technology itself, if we understand the bigger perspective of the technology, it will help the viewers to understand the results of it. For example, if people understand how the Web3 ecosystem work, generations of computers, how internet is being used is changing. We started with maybe Web 1 entailed with the emails, the what. That's when Internet Explorer was.
There's a thing.
Yeah, you could go to an internet cafe to surf, and so eventually, when ecosystems have been growing, Web 2 has been very fast with the coming of social medias and the what and the rest. But now on the Web 3 infrastructure, actually it has a lot of employment opportunities for the young people. That's what we have realized. Bitcoin or cryptocurrency on the blockchain, it's a small fraction of what a blockchain can do, if you agree with me, Mr. Darius. So now, to the reflection of the the Bitcoin, there are many things that we could do from the regulator's side, and also these people who want to make money, because internet has elasticity. It can accommodate a lot of things. I travel from country to country, across and outside. I see how young people behave when it comes to the internet opportunities. So one of them, they can actually trade. They can be traders. Trading is where people go wrong. That's where the losses have been. But there are even other opportunities on the ecosystem that we have been sharing with young people. For example, we are in bad season right now in the crypto. It is horrible. And I always tell people that it's not good to be trading every time. Not every season as an entrepreneur, you know it, or as a farmer. Not every season is a harvesting season, and not every season is a planting season. There are seasons. Let's understand seasons. Right now, we're in what we call a bear market. Don't risk your small money. Don't risk your $10, your $50, your $100 in the market. Yes, when you're not doing any other thing. Wait, keep the money aside. If you want to take advantage of buying, well, it's okay, but invest what you can afford to lose. Right
That's a
now.
very key thing that you say there, and that's what
Invest.
people forget.
Invest what you can afford to lose. Don't go mucharo chewamwe. You sell off the plot of land.
Utility is small.
Yes, you sell off your plot of land and then you come to town because you want to get rich so fast, and then you invest in crypto. No, my friend, you're going to go back to the village very soon. Understand seasons. Invest. If you are tempted to buy, because right now actually this is an opportunity to buy because cryptos are down.
It's an
If
opportunity to plant if you
to
are-
plant if you're a farmer, exactly, but you invest what you can afford to lose. Then number two, do your own research on each project. There's what we call tokenomics. The tokenomics goes with understanding a project by project. Did you know that Ethereum's ecosystem is different from Binance Smart Chain? Did you know that Polygon and Celo are totally different and they are solving different
Mr. Daniel, you
problem?
speak a science that many of my people may not understand.
Okay.
Mr.
Exactly.
Mugabe, going forward, he speaks of seasons. I'll call them trends in this. What are the current non-fungible token trends? What many call NFTs that those looking to start to invest can really start targeting as of now, because we have understood that you can still actually make money off of this, but like you said, the seasons, which we call in the Bitcoin market, trends. What are those?
Either even human beings, we are subjected to seasons.
Exactly.
We are not always happy all the time. Our moods change very often. So the same applies to these investments, and even economies. By the economies also operate like human bodies. There are times when they are happy, when we are in booms, times when they are really very sad, we are in recessions, and it goes on like that, swing modes. But to complement on what he was saying, he has been speaking some good economics. In economics, there are two genuine ways of
And I'm a
reaching
computer scientist.
prosperity, of becoming rich. Number one is wealth creation, and number two is the wealth transfer. That's the
Yes.
only way you can reach prosperity. And what has been explaining is embedded in wealth creation, that we need to accumulate a lot of capital, and the capital is accumulated through savings, which you accumulate over time. You don't accumulate capital over a night. And later, when this capital is accumulated, you invest and you're able to get a return. So the choice to join cryptocurrency, I entirely agree, should be based on the view or the narrative that you want to diversify your asset portfolio.
Yes.
That you already have certain investments which are giving you these returns, and then you can use it to diversify. However, the major challenge, which I think is still belittling us as Africans, is on how then do we sustain investments of such kind. As Africans, we mainly want to invest in what we call investibles, things that we see, observables, that whatever money I get out of cryptocurrency, then I'm thinking of building an apartment somewhere, because that's what people can see,
Yes.
and that limits the future, the potential for some of these assets, or these trade that we are supposed to engage in.
Mr. Mugabe, you still avoided my question. You do not want to cheat for my audience, the NFT trends, but I'll tally it to Mr. Daniel. You hold a very important machine there, and yet the conversation we hold right now is cryptocurrency. How are those two related?
Well, you've asked him about
NFT
NFTs,
trends.
and I beg to just add in something on the NFTs so that people understand. This is called an Oculus equipment that allows you to enter into what we call the virtual reality or the virtual reality. metaverse. Let's call it metaverse. I think Mark Zuckerberg has done a lot of work on the metaverse, and most of you who are watching us, you have phones. You use WhatsApp. Every time when you go to your WhatsApp, you see Meta. Facebook has changed its name to Meta because globally, all of you are you can be a witness on this. The first 10 companies globally, they're all tech companies. I strongly believe that tech sets trends on a lot of things globally. So NFTs is a form of is one of the segments of cryptocurrencies. NFTs are non-fungible tokens that stores value for a particular reasons. Let me give an example of art pieces. I've seen a lot of art pieces here. Many of our art pieces in Africa here don't store value. Maybe you sell it to a white man who has come here at $10 or $30, and they liquidate it at $500,000, where you have not made profits. So time has come where you can own the rights of that art piece for the entire life. So that NFT, I mean that art piece, you can encrypt it with a token that runs on the blockchain, and we call it an NFT.
And
So the
is that
market,
what you hold?
I am coming now to the use case of this.
Yes.
So in the metaverse, the currency that is going to be used internally here, people will be exchanging a lot of NFTs, is one of the currencies that will be used in the metaverse. Metaverse has two meanings. The meta, that is something beyond the future. The verse is the universe. So something that is beyond the future has been brought in the universe. The way how you sleep and dream, Darius, you dream when you are lecturing, at the same time you are in the village, or you're saying
Sometimes I dream when I'm lecturing at Harvard.
exactly.
Yes.
So
This
in a
affected.
is in out of the dream, you are from Harvard. So some people have gone ahead to innovate something of that kind that is going to ease communication, the way how we move, we behave, we communicate. So those are critical key areas. For example, education is going to be made easier with this, because what's the cost of someone, a normal Ugandan maybe from Rukunjiri, going to Harvard? It's quite expensive. They have to probably sell off the entire village to raise the funds for that. But now a lot of education programs have been implemented internally here, and you can go to the Harvard through this. You say hello to your maybe professor, your friends from all over the world through this. So we have a lot of hopes on crypto, that cryptocurrencies are going to be used in the metaverse economy. And one of the use cases for crypto, go and see what metaverse has been, that has been done. Let's take another example as I wind up on the metaverse. In health, human anatomy has made easy. You don't know how many people die because of the student doctors every time, because they have to learn on the job. But now in the metaverse, it's easy to operate someone. Practically, you see how it works, the entire process. And then if that person dies in the metaverse, it's okay, because it's not a real human being. But the skill that you've earned in the metaverse allows you to operate some self-life. And also in the army, some countries like Israel, they train their armies via metaverse. One of these days, they train you how to fly a jet and the other things. So it has a lot of programs. And in the metaverse economy, there is land. People are buying land in the
When you talk about a
metaverse.
metaverse economy, are we saying that this is This is where cryptocurrency is heading to.
Yeah. It is going to be used in the metaverse so much, and it's one of the use cases. I've interacted with a lot of regulators on the Africa's continent, and one of their key precautions, they look at the consumer protection and also the use cases. So metaverse is one of them, and others. Thank you so much.
Darius,
think they
as you
should
wind
also
up,
be worried.
because we are short of time. As you wind up, to the youth out there that is looking for an opportunity, what are the tricks that they should really be watchful about, and what are some of the platforms that you could advise for them to go and learn these things free of charge? Because many will run away from from such opportunities because of lack of money for training. So where are some of the places they can go and get this information? Because some don't even know where to get it, and what are the tricks they should look out for?
Really, I think in this 21st century, people who decry of lacking information, I think, is a lame excuse. There is a lot of information regarding these things online, free of charge. You can watch YouTube tutorials, a number of things, and acquaint yourself with a lot of information on how these things work. I think from what we have discussed, we have expressed a lot of fears and some dangers relating to this. And the most important thing is that as a youthful person, when you're making that decision to invest in cryptocurrency, number one, you're having information on how it works and how you're going to sustain that investment. But also not with a narrative that you're going to get rich tomorrow. Like we have already said, there are only two ways of getting prosperity: wealth creation and wealth transfer. Also, as Africans, there are certain instances when we defy, or when we escape, or when we contradict this conventional wisdom, and we get rich by doing some kind of magic. In development policy, scholars have already warned that Africa and perhaps Latin America may never be rich because of having belief in too much magic and witchcraft. To want
Thank you,
to
Mr.
get things by
Thank you,
that
Mr.
kind of
Darius.
work.
Your last words, Mr. Darius.
Well, let me start with the recommendations. I know how it feels when you invest in a project and it dies all of a sudden. To be honest, there are people who have sold houses. There are people who have lost their families because of crypto investment or ventures. So I would recommend, one, invest what you can afford to lose for now. Number two, does cryptocurrency appreciates in value? Yes. Can you make money actually out of cryptocurrency? Yes. Can you make losses when it goes down? Yes. So have a plan when you're entering into cryptocurrency. Number two, I have a feeling that, no, a belief that the factors of productions have really changed from what they taught us at school to a level of technology, people, and time. So if we embrace these three things and we capitalize on them, I believe Africa is going to be a great economy, because where we are heading, it's going to be a data-driven economy. It's no longer words, but a data-driven economy. And information is everywhere. Go to Nile One Academy. There's a lot of information. Let me start with mine.
You for your advertisement.
But also, there are many other programs that are going on. Cello is doing it. Yellow Card is doing it. When you go to Binusu, it has it. Binance Academy is there. You can educate yourself, learn from people who have done it, and it will really help you understand the tokenomics, the size, the demanding supply, the supply chain, the white paper of the token, all those things are going to help you to understand the industry. I will really welcome you to what we call a wealth transformation. I mean, a wealth transfer system. Now people have power to determine the way how they transact and they live.
Thank you
I
so
appreciate
much.
and I also call upon the regulators. Please do not kill the spirit of entrepreneurship and innovation. Come on board, join us. We've gone through a lot of challenges here and there. We've learned on the job, so join us. Like any other, I mean, like other economies do it. I've seen it in Dubai. They register. There's DMCC where they register all startups, so they incubate you. So incubators. There's a sandbox I've seen here. The central banker that has put up. Please, we are much willing to come through with our associations like blockchain, Uganda Blockchain Association, where a lot of companies are registered, so we can come with you. Thank you so much.
I wanted to find out from Daniel whether this technology is developed here such that we incubate such kinds of
We shall
inventions
find
and-
out about that in our next conversation. Thank you so much. It has been Helen Kavavikia for Solutions Now Africa. And based on the conversations we have had today, I hope that you are able to decide for yourself whether Bitcoin or cryptocurrency is indeed the devil or the misunderstood angel. Thank you.